creepy clown, like Slasher, is back, and this time he looks even deadlier than before. Horror fans can finally breathe a sigh of relief, or maybe scream, because the trailer for The Jester 2 has officially dropped, and it confirms what many were hoping for. The Killer Joker-inspired villain is making his terrifying return. This sequel follows up on the cult hit, The Jester from 2023, and from the looks of the trailer, things are only going to get scarier, bloodier, and far more twisted this time around. For anyone who might have missed the first movie, The Jester was one of those low-budget horror films that managed to capture the audience's imagination by doing something both familiar and fresh. It took the slasher formula that horror fans know and love, added a chilling supernatural spin, and gave us a masked villain that people still can't stop talking about. Directed by Colin Krawchuk, the first film was written from a story by Michael Sheffield, who also played the Jester himself. The movie was set in a small town on Halloween night, where the eerie masked trickster stalked and killed victims with a combination of old-school slasher brutality and twisted carnival-style magic tricks. It was creepy, darkly funny at times, and unforgettable. Now, with The Jester 2 on the way, horror lovers have another reason to get excited. Colin Krawchuk is back in the director's chair, once again writing the script, and Sheffield reprises his sinister role as the nightmare-inducing Jester. But this time, the story has a new lead protagonist. Instead of the small-town adults we followed last time, the sequel introduces us to a teenager named Max, a quiet girl who suddenly finds herself in the wrong place at the wrong time. On Halloween night, she crosses paths with the Jester, and from that moment forward, her life becomes a deadly game of survival. The trailer sets the tone perfectly. It starts with a spine-chilling scene where the Jester folds himself out of a suitcase deep in the woods, instantly scaring a teenager who happens to be nearby. The imagery alone is enough to send shivers down your spine. There's something deeply unsettling about watching this contorted, a grinning villain crawl out of a tiny box like a demonic magician. After this, the trailer shifts focus to Max, played by Jessica Ambuel. She's described as the quiet girl, which sets her up as the underdog in this deadly showdown. Horror has always loved its underdog heroines, from Laurie Strode in Halloween to Sidney Prescott in Scream, and Max seems destined to join that lineup. As the trailer continues, we see the Jester's sadistic tricks get darker and more dangerous. Max is stalked through shadowy woods, creepy houses, and twisted carnival-like setups as the Jester taunts her with both psychological mind games and supernatural abilities. The villain isn't just a man with a mask. He's something more, something that bends the rules of reality with his card tricks and illusions. One scene even teases the Jester pulling a card from his deck that suddenly turns into a weapon, giving fans a taste of the creatively gory kills that await. That's one of the big things horror fans are buzzing about, the kills. In slasher horror, it's not just about the body count, it's about how inventive the kills are. The trailer seems to highlight this by showing glimpses of the Jester's terrifying bag of tricks. Horror has proven time and time again that shocking kills are what stick with audiences. That's why movies like Terrifier 3 and Clone in a Cornfield have built such loyal fan bases. With The Jester 2, it looks like Krawchuk and Sheffield are pushing the creativity of the kills even further, making sure that the audience is both horrified and impressed with each new twisted magic trick that turns deadly. The movie also features a new supporting cast alongside Jessica Ambuel. Caitlin Trentham, Dingani Beza, and Jay Grant all appear in the sequel, though their exact roles haven't been revealed yet. What's certain is that they'll either help Max in her fight for survival, or, more likely, become pawns in the Jester's deadly game. That's another thing that fans love about slashers: TT guessing who will make it out alive and who will meet a gruesome end. With Max being billed as the central heroine, it seems safe to assume she'll go head-to-head with the Jester in the final act, but that doesn't mean everyone else is safe. Beyond the scares and kills, what really makes the Jester franchise stand out is the mask and persona of the villain himself. Unlike other clowns and jesters we've seen in horror, this one combines an almost playful carnival vibe with something deeply unsettling. His face, hidden behind the mask, feels both cartoonish and demonic, giving him a look that's instantly recognizable. And with Sheffield himself stepping back into the role, fans can expect the same creepy body language, unnerving movements, and silent menace that made the character so terrifying the first time. As for the release, The Jester 2 is set to arrive exclusively in theaters for a special 2-day event through Fotham Events. The dates are locked for September 15 and 16, giving fans just one weekend to experience the horror on the big screen. That kind of limited release might sound risky, but for horror movies, it's actually a smart strategy. It builds hype, creates urgency, and gets fans to flock to theaters before the chance slips away. And honestly, watching a movie like this with a live audience, where every jump scare, scream, and gasp is shared, just makes it all the more fun. So what does this sequel mean for the future of the Jester franchise? Well, if the trailer is any indication, it's clear that the creators are looking to expand on the mythology of the Jester while still delivering the classic slasher formula. Changing the protagonist keeps things fresh, while bringing back the same masked villain ensures continuity. It's the same formula that worked for Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Scream. Each of those franchises introduced new characters, while keeping their iconic villains front and center, and now the Jester seems to be following in those footsteps. Our take: The Jester 2 looks like it could be a breakout sequel in the horror world. While it probably won't pull blockbuster numbers like big studio releases such as Weapons, it doesn't have to. The charm of the Jester lies in its indie, low-budget roots. That gives it more freedom to be experimental, more daring with its kills, and more creative overall. And judging by the trailer, this sequel is leaning heavily into those strengths. If horror fans show up, and they likely will, this could solidify the Jester as one of the most exciting new horror franchises out there. In the end, the return of the Jester feels like the perfect Halloween treat. The trailer is packed with creepy visuals, unnerving scares, and enough bloody promise to get fans buzzing. Whether you love the first movie or are just discovering this eerie villain for the first time, The Jester 2 seems ready to deliver exactly what horror audiences crave: see a mix of fear, fun, and unforgettable kills. When the lights go down in theaters this September, you can bet audiences will be screaming, laughing nervously, and covering their eyes as the Jester works his deadly magic all over again.